It's so hard. And I struggled for months because I was just like, this is so overwhelming. But when you can embrace your circumstances, know that everyone else who has shift work is dealing with very similar issues, that's when you can say, okay, these are my circumstances. What can I do to make myself happy? Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I talk about pregnancy, I talk about motherhood, we do things kind of natural, kind of hippie, kind of eco-friendly, granola. I have an Instagram, Hey Shayla, a podcast, Hey Shayla, and I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. Today, I'm going to talk about having a partner that does shift work, or that travels, or that is gone for extended periods of time where you feel like you're a single mom, or you're solo parenting, and I just wanted solidarity because it is a very, very challenging gig. Shift work can be like healthcare, it can be first responders, it can be warehouse workers, it can be drivers. I have a friend whose husband is a pilot, so we like talk about a lot of this stuff a lot of the time. Every relationship has their struggles, and our struggles, I didn't realize how much they were stemming from the shift work. So I just wanted to share this with you, and if you follow my channel at all, you know that I like to share the hard things, but have a positive spin on it. So I did not want this video just to be like complaining and like a downer video, but more of like, these are the things that we struggle with, and it is freaking hard. Share some of the things that we do to like kind of work through it, and then share some of the positives of the shift work, because there are some. You can find some. You have to find some. It's like literally a sink or swim situation where you either are going to drown in resentment and anger, or you're going to accept it and just like thrive, okay? Thrive is a strong word, but we're going with it. So when I say we're single mom in it, or single parenting, or solo parenting, Seth hates that. He's like, I don't like that you say that, because it's not like he's an absent father. He's like, I want to be here. I want to do all these things. I'm literally going to work. And then when I come home from work, I have to sleep, because I sleep when you are awake and you are awake when I'm asleep. And it is the worst. Because he comes home in the morning, says hi to us, and then needs to sleep. And I'm always like, oh, have a good nap. Or like, I'll say that he slept in, and he's like, Shay, I got like between 6 and 8 hours of sleep. I'm not sleeping in. And like the day sleep is not as good as the night sleep. Like it's all real tricky for me and him. So that was something that I had to realize, was like, I am always like, Seth, this is so challenging. And he's like, it is for me too, because I'm always tired and I'm always missing things and I'm always away, and I'm like, it's so hard for him too. And so once I kind of like internalized that a bit, and I was like kind of saw it from his perspective, because he's like, it's lonely. I'm sleeping when you guys are awake, and then we're awake together for a while, and then you guys go to sleep. He tries to like keep his schedule a little bit, not quite, but he stays up pretty late so that he can sleep in a little bit, sleep in. So when my sister had her son, she was solo mom in it, and she says that she thinks it would be harder to have somebody there sleeping or like working from home than not there at all, because when they're not there, you're just like, well, this is just what I have to do. When they're there, you're like, oh my gosh, I could go wake them up, or I wish I could go grab them to help me. And there's always kind of this like, it can be a resentment where you're like, they're sleeping or they're working and I'm doing this or whatever. But sleep is just like, neither one of us get to sleep in. I don't get to sleep in because every single morning I wake up with the kids at whatever time they wake up, because he's either just getting home, or he's not home, or he's sleeping, or whatever. It's like he has his time to sleep so that he can get up and hang out with us. So he's not sleeping like 12 hours, or I mean, I feel like no parent is sleeping 12 hours, but neither one of us get to sleep in. So basically we both have to go to bed earlier if we want to get more sleep. No matter what time the girls wake up, I'm waking up with them. And if I want more sleep, I go to bed with them. Last night I fell asleep with them at like 8 p.m. and then we woke up at 7 a.m. And probably 4 nights prior to that, I was going to bed at 11 and waking up with them at like 6:30. So I needed it. My body needed it. And I was like, okay. And so I just fell asleep with them and rolled with it. It's so challenging too to like keep them quiet during the day. He's got a sound machine. He's got like a fan. But our house is not big. Pretty much around here all day unless we're outside. And we're outside a lot. But when we're inside, if Aaliyah's having a tantrum and screaming, or if the baby is screaming or whatever, I'm like, let's go outside, because I don't want to wake him up, because he needs good quality sleep too, right? So it's hard because you have little kids and you don't want them to be quiet all day. You want them to be kids, but you also want your partner to get good sleep. So the sleep thing is just, it's one of the most challenging parts. And we're hardly sleeping together. We're sleeping on opposite schedules, right? And even when it overlaps, he's not gonna come in there and potentially wake up the girls or whatever. And I found myself just waiting for him to wake up. Like I would just be like, okay, well, he's gonna be up in a few hours, so let's just hang out here. And I would like do nothing, just waiting for him to wake up. And then I had to be like, listen, I lose my mind when I don't like get out and I'm not active in doing things. I have to go on with my life and plan things that he might not be a part of. And like I had friends that I had hung out with multiple times and they had never met Seth, and I was like, I promise he's real. He's a real human, but the timing just isn't working. Or I'd plan things when he was working so that when he was off, we could hang out as family, but then when he was working, I could go like to my sister's house or my dad's house or to a friend's house or whatever. So a lot of times it was doing things when he was at work. So everyone's just like, does he exist? Is he good? And I'm like, yeah. And when he gets off, he just wants to like chill and just like recharge, relax. But for me, I'm like, you're off, let's go do all the things. And he's like, I'm off, I need to just like chill for a bit. Personality difference, but like he just needs downtime. So it sucks that I have to like plan things when he's working. I have to plan things without him. And I started realizing that I do like a lot of the things that most people get to like split half and half, like cooking meals, grocery shopping, breaking down the boxes for recycle day, taking out the trash, waking up with the kids, dressing the kids, getting them to where they need to be, setting up appointments, going to those appointments. Like there's so many things that go on during the day. And so sometimes it's challenging when he comes into bath time and bedtime, and I'm like, that's not the order of our bedtime routine, Seth. And this is like a thing common with the military when people go deploy and then their spouse comes back, of like their spouse trying to get in the rhythm of things that they've made kind of without them because they've been gone for so long. I find that on a more micro scale of just like bath time and bedtime, of like, we actually go potty after the bath, not before, and things that don't really matter. So then I just have to step back sometimes and be like, this doesn't really matter in what order we do it in. We normally only read 2 books, but she's asking for 3. And like some things you need to keep the boundaries with, because then they think, oh, with Dad, I can keep pushing it and get water and get this and get that. And so you just have to talk to your partner, like really connect with your partner and be like, listen, here's our routine and it goes really well, and I want you to be in on it so that you're in the know and you can like participate and things still go well. And decisions, like I'll be like, oh, these are the 2 preschools we want to go to. That's kind of a bigger decision. But just like little decisions of like, oh, should we take them into the doctor? I'm constantly like trying to make decisions. I heard this recently, like before kids, you kind of make your decisions from external factors, like doing the research or asking your parents or asking your friends. And once you become a mother, you need to make decisions from internal. And I think that that's massive. So I've had to start like making more decisions, and he's cool with whatever I make, but I'm always like, don't you want to know every detail of this decision? He's like, no, I trust you and I trust your judgment on things. Okay, so sometimes I make a list of things that I need to talk to him about, like when we finally get to like chat on the phone or like connect, because sometimes it literally feels like just 2 ships passing in the night where you're just like, okay, have a good day, bye, see you later, bye. And so I like write down things. This is just some like nonsense that I just want to talk to you about. This is something that I learned about. This is a problem that I have. A lot of times our partners who are doing these jobs are like first responders or they're healthcare professionals. I have so many friends who are married to like nurses or doctors or ER people or like first responders, firefighters, police officers, like all this. Those people oftentimes will see the worst day of that person's life. They see it multiple times a day or multiple times a week. So they're seeing other people's worst day of their lives multiple times a week. Then they need to come home and be like, it's okay. A lot of it, like with us, is with children's safety, right? A lot of nurses and doctors will deal with like, don't go on your parents' shoulders because they saw something happen to a kid that fell off the shoulders. Just like little things that most people who don't see the worst case scenario would never think twice about. And some things you're like, oh, I'm really glad we know that. And other things you're like, we are stressing about this a little bit too much when we don't need to. Like most normal people with a normal level of caution would be okay with this. And we need to be okay with this because the extreme situation can happen but isn't the norm. And that switch is really, really challenging for a lot of people in these professions. And it's hard on the spouses too, because they're like, I feel like this is fine, but you're not comfortable with it. I'm not really sure what to do here. So that I found to be really interesting too. Another thing that has helped us a ton is I will ask him to text me when he's going to get up. I don't care what time it is. I don't care if it's 10 a.m. or 4 p.m. I just want to know what time you're getting up so that I can mentally know that that's like the finish line of when you're waking up. And so that has helped a lot. I also wrote down the list of things that are really helpful when he cleans or when he picks up or when he does something, he's awake and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go do this. A lot of times the things that I'm focusing on and that he is focusing on are different. So dishes in the sink are my number 1. Laundry, close second. Third, just like a general pickup. He was always focusing on like the toys in the living room, which I do not care about, and like mowing the lawn. And yes, mowing the lawn needs to be done. I don't do that. But he would like pick up all the toys and then just be like, or the sink is full of dishes, which is very ungrateful for me to be focusing on the dishes. So I had to share with him, like, these are the things that I kind of like hyper focus on. Can your job be the trash? So when you come home, make sure the trash is out and take it out every Wednesday or whatever. And so like those conversations are so tricky, but so important to have, because you don't want him to feel like you're ungrateful for the things that he's doing, but you want to explain to him the things that would really help you the most. And then you have to find the positives. I feel like I'm rushing, but my babysitter leaves in 5 minutes. So like for us, the positives of shift work are that we get to go to the zoo on weekdays. We get to go to the water park on weekdays when it's not super populated. And even though this job is really hard and the shift work is super tricky, I am grateful that he has a job. I am grateful that he wants to hang out with the kids, even if timing doesn't work out to always do it. And so I think just focusing on like, I know that he's also tired, and so when he tells me he's tired, I don't just go, I know what that's like, because that's what I used to do. I go, I'm really sorry that you had such a tough day, and I'm sorry that you saw the worst day of people's lives tonight. What can I do to help you to make it better? You can't focus on that you're like solo parenting a lot. You have to focus on the fact that you get to be with your kids and that like these are your circumstances basically. Once I realized these are my circumstances, what am I going to do to make myself happy? Just going. Not waiting for him to wake up all the time. Planning 0 days so when he's off, if he just wants to chill, not planning anything so that you guys can hang out as a family or like go on a walk to the lake as a family and like enjoying that time spent together. It's so hard. And I struggled for months because I was just like, this is so overwhelming. But when you can embrace your circumstances, know that everyone else who has shift work is dealing with very similar issues, that's when you can say, okay, these are my circumstances. What can I do to make myself happy? It will change everything. So I hope this was just solidarity, sis, like most of my videos are. Not too much complaining, but just like, yeah, it's a lot. Solidarity. I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.